Hello dear all, it's me Nasrin from Agmasoft. Now we want to know about MDM tool, Meteorological Drought Monitor tool, for knowing about how can we use this tool and how can we run different steps for relating different meteorological drought indices. Okay, you can see in the background the main paper related to this tool that you can find it in the related website, Journal Ireland, and as well in ResearchGate, my web page, and as well in Agmasoft website. Okay, in this tool, in this paper, you can find different details related to MDM tool and as well about meteorological drought indices. So, if you want to run this tool, you need to first of all find your file. I mean that load your data for calculate meteorological drought. So you should browse your file. After click file, you can find two options. The first one related to the open data file icon, and the second one, or maybe the last, is if you want to exit, you can click exit. Okay, before you want to know about your Excel file, it is better to know that in this tool we have two type of format of data for upload or browse your file. The first one is in Excel format, that previously you prepare your Excel file about the station location, and the second one is related to the in-year database that related to AgMira data set in this Meteorological Drought Monitor tool. So you have two types of way for uploading or browsing your data. The first one is in Excel file, and the other is in from the tool and from the database of AgMira data set in this tool. Okay, for better clarification, I show you two different samples for better understanding. Okay, after clicking file, you can find this icon, open data file. After you click this icon, you can browse your Excel file. This is my sample. I prepared it before, so I click it and I found it. Click open to I mean that open and this Excel file. After your selection is finished, you can see different sheet of your file. My file has one sheet, so I can see here the name of the sheet, the Excel sheet with name of Mashhad, my station. Okay, I select it for see my data in this Excel file. Okay, here in my file, it depends on your Excel file. In my file has three columns. The first one related to the year, the second one about maximum temperature, and the last or the third one is related precipitation data. Okay, my Excel sheet has extra row for the header. So maybe your file doesn't have or have, it is not important, because during the way I want to show you how you can fix it. Okay, so first of all, for uploading your data in this tool, you should select and as well this assign every of the column for the related variable. So here in this panel, select variable, you can see different columns. The first columns, if you click related to the year, you need it. Okay, I click years for and assign it to the column one. But you know, my file is in daily format, so be careful about preparation of your Excel file. If your file in daily format, be careful about that your cells doesn't have any blank cells, doesn't have, for example, not a number, non information or damaged cell. So be careful before uploading this Excel file in this tool, everything is okay. For example, if your file is in daily, you should have 365 for each years continuously with this format. For example, it is started from 1979 up to the other things that the last year of this data. It depends of your file. So everything should be okay. I meant that. Okay. After that, I click years and select it for column 1. I click load column data. I saw a warning. It is not really important because it's gonna show you that you have a further an extra row for the header data. It show you this tip. Okay, I click it okay. It will not be important for us, so I click it okay and omit it. Okay, you can see this bar here that show to you your data is typically load here in a good format. Okay, you can see as well here the time scale that is in daily format. Okay, it's good. If your data would be in yearly scale time, you should select monthly for your time scale. Okay, you can see here that your year data loading is done as finished. Okay, and because all my 8 indices in this MDM tool just need precipitation, and these are meteorological drought indices. All of them should be calculated with precipitation and as well the time, I mean that years. So I need another variable, precipitation especially, so it gonna be located in this column 3. I found it, so I should assign to the precipitation. I click precipitation and assign to column 3. Okay, and after that load column data. Another warning related to the point header, as I told you before. Okay, it not be important for you, and you can see here the status bar is loading, and so because my period of time is so long, so I need more time to load all of them in this tool. Okay, after that I should see this one, so everything is okay. I said precipitation data loading is done, it is finished. Okay, after your loading data is finished, you should click back and set. I click it. You know, as I told you before, in this tool we have 2 ways for loading data. For this sample I prefer finish it and after that back to you and show you the in-year data. Okay, so I omitted station here just for this sample, and go to the third icon, calculate. So, for a sample, I want to show you how we can use SPI index, standard precipitation index. I want to calculate this index with monthly format. If you want to use, for example, in yearly or moving average format, you can do this. But in this sample, I prefer to do it for monthly format. I click it, and after that, I face with this page. Okay, you know, since your sample with your data in Excel file, you should select new station, and you can see in type of station the first one is not activated, it is deactivated because we use the first format, I mean that Excel file. So click new station if you load your data in this tool with an Excel format file. Okay, I select, as you see previously, SPI in monthly format, so I should click calculate, and you can see in a while the progress bar is done for trying to full for this calculation. Okay, this needs some time for calculation because my data is so long, the period of my data, so it needs more time. You know, if you know about other things about SPI index, you can see this paper as I told you before. This paper is especially for MDM tool, and you can find different descriptions. For example, if you want to more know about SPI index, you can find it here and the other things. Okay, I prefer to follow the rest of the steps. You know, here all the things related to calculation is finished. One of the exciting manner about this tool is categorize different classes of SPI drought and as well wet manner. Here you can view here, observe here that every class this I mean that related to another color, and you can follow them very easy in this table. You know, here you can see, you can't see the whole year. You can do this I mean that a step to see the other rest of the year. It is started from 1979 up to my end of file 2014, and as well it is started from January up to December for all months of years in monthly format. Okay, if you want to export your data in Excel format for make some reports or maybe draw some graphs, you can click export to Excel, and it's really easy to browse a proper location in your laptop and save this file in XLSX as you want. Okay, another things related to this icon chart. If you prefer, for example, make a chart in this tool and export to your report, paper, or everything that you want, you can do this icon. But before you can see that, please select the column because I didn't select it. For example, I prefer to do it for January, and I click on January for the header and see, okay, this message column of January was selected. Okay, so I want to select chart, and as well this chart, different charts, monthly SPI for January. And if I want to select another format, I change my type of the chart, for example SP line, or maybe a column, bubble, or everything that you can see here, and save it in format that you want to use in report or different things. Okay, I click back. I think you can understand what you different steps related to this sample Excel file. Use Excel file as a synoptic station or maybe climatological station. It depends on your input data that you want to use calculation index, meteorological drought indices for your work. Okay, by the way, I want to use show to you another format. When you want to, for example, use a station inner data, I mean that use data in file. It is as you know, we have different gridded data set. One of the wonderful of this format of data is AgMera data set. And as I told you before, in this paper, I describe that what is the AgMera data set and how can we use it, how can we download the precipitation and other variables, and what are the characteristics of this data set source and the other things. So in this tool, MDM tool, you can also use this the data set for calculation drought. It's gonna be good for you. If you want to prefer to use other data sets such as crew, or maybe we have different data set. If you want to use with this tool, you can order and make a request to Agmisoft. We can add your request in this tool and you can use it very easy. Okay, so for the second sample and for the second way of using this tool, I can use a station, icon station, and select existing station. Okay, in this page you have two options. First of all, you can write for latitude and longitude, writing the sample, your intent sample. And for example, for my sample like this for latitude, and as well for longitude like this one. Okay, and for the start period and end period. As I told you before, this tool has prepared for AgMera dataset. In AgMera dataset, as you know, all the period is started from 1980 up to 2010. So this period limited to this one from 1918 up to 2010. If you want a selection this period for limitation, you can do this. But you know that another point that this tool is working for just for MENA region. I mean that some of the place in north of Africa and as well Middle East. I will show you in the map. However, for example, like this one and up to this year. After I click load data, I see this message that for the latitude and longitude, if you want to check it, you can do this. And as we click OK, and you need more time to load data for extract your data in the tool for your sample. And after a while, you can see a message that like this, successfully loaded. And you can click OK and go to another step for calculating every indices that you want. So before go to calculation like the previous way in Excel file, I want to show you the map format. You know, I show you that how can use coordinates with writing the latitude and longitude of your sample station. Another format is using the map. If you click map icon, you can see this map. For example, you know, this tool has prepared for MENA region. So if I click, for example, here, it's okay, it's gonna be good. But if I click here in India, you can see this message out of area because it is not located in MENA region. So okay, it is not applicable for me to use other stationary points for out of this boundary MENA region. So for example, if I click like this one, okay, this longitude and latitude selected, okay, and you can see another page like this. You should select your period. As I told you before, it is related to AgMera dataset, so it is started from 1918 up to 2010. If you want to limit your border time, you can do this like this one, okay, and after that set a station. Also, we need more time to set this station. The data should be set, and after a while you should see load succeed and it is finished. And you can go after that to the third icon, calculated each indices that you want. But you know, some of the indices need to daily data, such as EDI. You need to calculate this index with daily format, just daily format. So I suggest you, for better understanding and get some information about these indices, review the background paper and know better about every characteristic of each stations, each indices. Okay, if I want to show you the rest of steps related to calculation of indices, after that I can click this index, and for example in this sample, because it is not related to the Excel way and it is from inner data set, so I should click existing station because it is in all of the data, AgMera data are saved in this database of MDM tool. So I click existing station and click calculate, and I can see here the monthly drought here, and every color follow me, direct me about the status of that month. For example, like this, slight drought, weak drought, or maybe no drought, or extremely drought, like this. And as I told you before, you can export your data, these data, the result of your index, to export Excel format, or maybe make chart for example, select May, or maybe if you want to, make a chart for this selection, you can do this as well, and the other things. These are similar as the previous steps that I showed to you. Okay, at the end, I suggest you to use this tool for calculating meteorological drought, and all these droughts, all of them need precipitation, and as you see, the year in monthly scale or maybe in daily scale as well. Another tips that I prefer you to show important tips related to the result of this tool. Uh, we check different tools. There are different tools and package in the different website that you can find them and use them. But we check our result, the MDM tool, with Mitigation Drought Center that located in Nebraska. This is an important center for a different related process for drought and reports and every activities. So we checked our tool with Mitigation Drought Center. For example, if I want to show you this some of the question in frequently asked question in Agrimesoft website, you can see different question here that you can find them here. For example, excuse me, okay, and then we need time to load them. For example, here, this question: how can I prepare my data for SPI calculation and starting and ending years? Okay, it is an important question related to the Excel file. How can prepare your Excel file? We put an example here and show you that two samples for daily format and as well for monthly format. You can find both of them here in frequently asked question. You can follow them. Okay, if you want to find another question, as I told you before, related to our tool, MDM tool, with another tool of the Nebraska Mitigation Drought Center. Okay, for example, I write it here, RAI, one of the meteorological drought indices, and I want to show you this question: difference between Rainfall Anomaly Index in MDM and in other tools. Okay, I click this question and you can find an exciting answer here. You can see here different statistical result with a package within our package result that show that the MDM tool is really wonderful for calculating different meteorological drought indices. Okay, another thing that I show you for Nebraska Drought Mitigation Center with this tool, Drain C, okay, like this one, this question. I also use Drain C for calculation SPI and blah blah blah. Okay, I click it here and you can also see the answer that you can find the Mitigation Drought Center package for calculating SPI, and see that our result is really a match, and it is so similar to the result of Drought Mitigation Center. But Drain C is a bit difference between the result of Drain C and us, and as well the Drought Mitigation Center. Okay, it's gonna be good for you to make some comparison for understanding that tool is really wonderful and the result is really exact. So at the end, I invite you to follow our website and as well our YouTube channel, Agrimesoft YouTube channel, and subscribe our channel for knowing about new tools and or maybe new frequently asked questions related to the drought, meteorological science, and different science that related to your field of study. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.